Hey guys, so it's been a little bit since I've made like a personal video like this, but I figured it was about time because today I'm exactly 2 weeks post-op. I got double incision with free nipple grafts with Dr. McEvenew at the McLean Clinic in Mississauga, Ontario. I didn't pay anything for it. Here in Canada we have this thing called OHIP, and I was approved to get it all covered. The only thing they wouldn't cover is anything cosmetic, so they didn't consider this cosmetic. But if I wanted contouring, which is basically just making it look like a more defined, developed male chest, that would have been an extra $2,000-ish, I believe, give or take. I don't really know how to make these videos because I never thought I'd get here, but what I'm going to do is kind of go over what's going on right now, 2 weeks in, my concerns, what I like, my best side, my worst side, and why, kind of like that sort of thing, sensation, swelling, all that stuff. So let's start with my good and my bad, I guess. I don't really know what side's my good side and what side's my bad side. On this side, the incision is a lot better. It's thin, it's not leaking or anything. It's the only thing I don't like about the incision is like under my arm, it kind of like pops out a little bit, but that's just swelling. That's not a dog ear or anything that'll go down. And the thing I like about this nipple is that, I don't know, I can't see what I'm doing, so it pops out like a normal nipple does. The only downside I have about this is that I am more swollen under my armpit here, and this nipple is bigger than this nipple. Like, I'd prefer both nipples to be that size, not that size. But it's better than the alternative, so that's okay. Another thing is that this nipple was doing really good in regards of color and, stuff like that. But now this nipple is doing better in the regard that, like, more scabbing is coming off. This one had a little bit of bleeding this morning. Bleeding is healthy though. It means it's attached, it's not dead. I think what happened was a scab came off and it started bleeding. It was a little bit more blood than I would have liked. Like, it's like when you do your shot and it like kind of bubbles, not bubbles, but like it bubbles out and then drips, you know what I mean? It's like a little ball of blood. It was like that. I dabbed it a couple of times and it stopped, so it's not anything to be concerned about, I don't think. But I'm worried that if it did it when that scab came off, that maybe when this whole kind of top area comes off, it'll do the same. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Hopefully not, though. This one doesn't have the actual, it does have the actual nipple part like this one does. And I can see that, it does kind of pop out a little bit, but obviously not to the extent that this one does, which is fine. Hopefully I get that, but, what can you do, right? I'm only 14 days post-op, so I'm not expecting, or trying not to expect a whole hell of a lot right now. This incision has been the death of me. Nothing, I don't think, knock on wood, nothing has gone wrong. Not that I would consider wrong. This incision looks a little worse than this one. In this section here between my fingers. And it's got a lot of dry skin around the incision, on either side, so the underneath, directly underneath and directly above, it's got dry skin because obviously the skin was cut. So when it gets wet, it's kind of gross looking. It's like when you cut your finger or something and you take a bath, you have a shower, and it's just that thin kind of gross wet sheet of dead, gross, dry, peeling skin. And there's been a little bit of discharge from this area. It's been a mixture of clear-ish yellow liquid, which is normal, and a little bit of what I would consider pus, but the pus has not been, I know, gross, I'm sorry. There has not been a lot of it. My theory is that it was a scab that came off prematurely or something and it disrupted it. I've sent a picture to my surgeon, I've let them know what's going on. They said it looks fine, but just to keep an eye on it. It's not irritated, it doesn't hurt, it's not inflamed, so I'm not super concerned. Yeah, it doesn't give me any feeling of being wrong other than, the visual of it being a little bit more red than everywhere else, etc. And obviously like the discharge. This guy was discharging significantly, like the clear yellowy stuff, which is healthy, that's normal. It's supposed to do that, but it was doing it for a few days and then it seems to have stopped, which is cool. I haven't had any discharge from this incision, except for where a scab was, which is why I think the pus is because of a scab disrupting the incision. Because right here, where that little black is, there was like a scab above it on the incision line, and that seems to have come off, and there was a little bit of pus there, but like, pus doesn't always equal infection. So, I'm just keeping that in mind right now, so I don't freak out. Other than that, like, I haven't really had an issue. This side, that's a scab right there, like the super dark. I don't even know if you can see that. The super dark right there is a scab, but where it looks dark along the incision is ink. I have a lot of that on me. This here, I don't even know if you can see it on the camera, but the skin, like right here where my finger is, not above my finger, but directly under my finger, is like purple. That's not bruising, that's ink that ran off of the incision. And when the bandages were stuck to me, the adhesive, because of wearing the binder constantly and the body heat that kind of created, the adhesive was really oily and kind of melting. So that made the ink from my incision leak into my skin. And I'm slowly, it's on this side as well, right there. And I'm slowly washing it off. It's not too successful right now. I also have, as you can see now that the scab is gone almost completely, I have a lot of ink around this nipple as well, and I have some along the top, little bit of this nipple, but it is coming off. I've been taking pictures of my nipples and my incisions, not every day, but almost every day, to kind of see the process, and it looks pretty prominent, but like it was a lot worse. So sensation, I have quite a bit of it. I didn't think I'd have this much because everybody usually, I know everybody, heals differently, etc. But everybody kind of describes it as like their whole chest is numb. So I went into this thinking like I'm not going to be able to feel anything. But I can feel under both incisions. I can kind of feel along, I can feel over here. I feel over here. I can't feel back here. But mostly along that incision, I can feel perfectly fine. Same, gross. Same with this one. Like I don't want to touch there, but I can feel along that incision as well. Feel all up here. All up here is good. All here. Here's not like completely numb, but it is a little bit. And then under there, like, I wouldn't say it's numb, because I can definitely feel this, but it is squishy and swollen, which is where the kind of numb feeling comes from. This is numb, but it's not as numb as it was before, which is nice. I'm the most numb in this kind of area here, so I can feel, I feel this, I can't feel that. So it starts here, and goes to about there. So like, I don't know if you can see it, but this part, like all right here, is like a darker kind of brownish. That is where I'm numb. And the indents in my chest is because I am swollen still. I don't know if you can really see that too well, but I'm swollen up in here, but not like super swollen. And this right here, okay, so up here is swollen, so that makes this look kind of sunken in or imprinted, which it is kind of imprinted a little bit because I still have to wear the binder most of the, like, I'd say like 22 hours a day, up until next Wednesday, which will be my 3 weeks, which they'll let me know that I can stop wearing it. Up here is also swollen, And this has been like, it's not sore every day, but it does feel really battered and sensitive and bruised occasionally. But it's like a fleeting feeling, like it comes and it goes. Same with like up here. But both areas right here are swollen. Under my arms are swollen. Which is weird because I can feel it on this side. Like I have sensation on this side, but it is still swollen. This side used to be super swollen. Not super, like not like complication swollen. But like it's gone down a lot. This side I'm not really sure. Oh, also this right here is not actually like incision. That's not even part of my incision line. That's like dried blood or dried crusty stuff. Gross, I know, I'm sorry. From whatever they did, like obviously they cut me open, so it probably leaked and then got stuck to my skin, like really stuck to my skin, because that's where the tape was. The tape ended like here on both sides. Like there is like super, actually it might have gone all the way across, I don't really remember, but that is really close to the incision line, so I haven't been able to wash it off, but a little bit came off in the shower today, so that's cool. It's actually still kind of on my skin. I'm really happy with my results. The recovery process has been pretty easy. I can't remember ever being in like an intolerable amount of pain. And most of the pain was from my binder. I think if I were to describe the pain out of a scale of 1 to 10, for me personally, the highest it got was maybe a 4. It was never bad at all. I never really, I haven't been in pain too much throughout this entire process, which is really nice. I went into it thinking the worst, thinking like, oh, it's gonna be debilitating, I'm not gonna be able to do anything, but you know, it's week 2 and I can do almost everything by myself. I can put on t-shirts, I can put on sweaters, like pullover sweaters, I can move my arms relatively. I'm not really too much of a T-Rex anymore. I can get up and out of the chair that I'm sleeping in. I was able to lay in the bed for a while and get up by myself. You know, like I'm walking around a lot. We actually just went and bought paint for our new apartment the other day. Like I've been able to do things. And it hasn't been terrible. My arm limitation is I don't like lifting my arms, so I don't know if this is accurate because I'm just paranoid, but to the side, I lift about there until I start feeling pulling. A little bit higher on this side up until about there. Forward is still a little, probably about there. Back I can like reach between my shoulder blades and like whatever on both sides, and then straight up there it starts to pull on this side, and there it starts to pull on this side. So like I'm not like all hunched over and whatever. I can stand up straight, I can move around, like I'm fine, other than like not being able to reach above my head. So that's cool. I haven't been putting any scar guard or anything on my scars yet, just because, you know, it's still leaky right there and I'm nervous about everything. So I'm gonna wait probably until they give me the okay to stop wearing my binder, and also so they can look at my chest and be like, yeah, everything's closed, you can start doing it, or oh, we have concern with this, or basically until they tell me that everything is good and looking great and perfect, then I'm not gonna touch anything. I have been putting Polysporin on my nips every single day after my shower. I have to do that for 2 weeks, so until my 3 week, because I started it last Thursday, so I have to go until next Thursday. They don't want me to use it too long because it can potentially dry things out and make them bleed and crack and whatever else, so that's no fun. Nobody wants that. Other than that, that's about it. There's not a whole lot else I could tell you. I'll take pictures in like a video or whatever, and I'll insert it into the end of this video. I'll also add my reveal, or at least a little bit of my reveal at the end. My reveal isn't like super like whatever. It was just me and my boyfriend in the room with the nurse. Sorry about that, my camera died. So yeah, like my reveal wasn't anything super spectacular, whatever, I was really quiet. So I'll add that in the end, and along with some pictures of like close-ups and stuff. Yeah, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I decide to make a video next.
Okay, there we are. That's perfect. Ready to do the other side?
Yep. And then all this is just swelling, it's not like...
Yeah, because it was a pressure dressing, so that's why it's kind of indented.
Oh, okay,
It'll
gotcha.
flatten out by tonight. And I think you're kind of sensitive to the adhesive because it's a little red, but the shower will help with that. If it's itchy, you can even do like an antihistamine or Benadryl over the counter.
Okay.
If you wanted to. Are you taking anything for pain?
Just Tylenol.
Tylenol?
Occasionally. I don't think I ever touched the oxys or anything.
That's good. Can you take Advil?
Yeah.
I know you can't take it before surgery because it can cause bleeding.
But I'm good to take it now?
Yeah, they recommend it 48 to 72 hours after surgery.
Okay.
Because it can help with swelling, because it's a good anti-inflammatory. And it's a good pain reliever. So if you're going to take anything, just take extra strength Advil.
Okay. That's such a weird feeling because I can't feel that.
Yeah. Which is normal.
Yeah.
So you need to still wear the binder for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Come to us in 2 weeks and we'll give you the permission to discontinue it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Very nice.